Welcome everybody back to Friar Talk. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a different episode here. Going to be doing a World Baseball Classic special. After we talk about all the World Baseball Classic teams and kind of we're gonna basically go over each pool. But after we talk World Baseball Classic, we are going to get into some of the Padres rumors and stuff from spring training. But we wanted to talk about the World Baseball Classic because it's going to replace a lot of major leaguers in spring this year. And as you'll see, there's a ton of major league players all over these rosters. And there's a few stacked teams. So I think we're going to get to see a lot of good baseball within it. And it's going to be a really, really fun thing, especially towards the end when it starts, when some of these teams have to face each other to get eliminated. You're going to see superstars competing with other superstars. So it'll be a very exciting event. And I think, I don't know, I'm pretty excited for it. So we figured we'd talk about the rosters and stuff. We're going to go pool D to pool A and break it down each of the pools. So starting off, Pool D, it's probably the best pool, I would say. It's, mainly DRs in Pool D. You got Puerto Rico, you got Venezuela, and then you have Israel and Nicaragua. There's basically three teams that are really competing in this pool. You have Puerto Rico, DR, and Venezuela. Honestly, Venezuela's team was kind of surprisingly really, really good. I didn't really think about it. I thought Puerto Rico was probably going to win this one, but you start looking into it. They have Martin Perez. They have Luis Garcia, right? And then you look at their bats, and they got Altuve. They got Miggy still. They got Ronald Acuna, Anthony Santander, Luis Arias, Eduardo Escobar. Like, they have a lot of major leaguers. So they're a pretty solid team. Puerto Rico is a good team as well. Going through them, I mean, they're not quite as good, but they have Francisco Lindor, Javi Baez. You got Kike, you got Christian Vasquez. Pitching wise, you have some of a good bullpen. You have Edwin Diaz. You also have Emilio Pagan. But then you also have Marcus Stroman and Jose Barrios. So, like, these are some really, really good rosters. But when you guys are looking at this pool, those specific three teams, I don't know. I feel like this is a tough one because I don't know who's going to get eliminated, and whoever is going to get eliminated probably shouldn't.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Or Chase? You got it, Chase. Go for it.
All right. That is a tough one. I think it's going to be the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico on top with Venezuela coming in third. Though it really can come down to whichever team has their ace out on the mound and whichever gets to the bullpen first. That's really what it could come down to. Each team has a pretty significant chance to winning it. Though in my hands, I think the Dominican Republic is probably the best team in there. Then Puerto Rico, though it's a pretty close tie between Puerto Rico and Venezuela. Though the Dominican Republic is just kind of ridiculously stacked. They're one of the top teams in the World Baseball Classic, and I think they're probably going to go all the way, if not at least make it to the quarters.
Yeah, I like the Dominican Republic and Venezuela. Obviously, the Dominican Republic is going to be one of, if not the favorites, to win the whole thing, with the DR having Juan Soto, Manny Machado, Julio Rodriguez, Vladdy, just stars from top to bottom. They're probably going to be the favorite. I fully expect them to win, and that's the team I will be going for just because Soto and Machado are going to be there. But Venezuela also has some pretty good players. Ronald Acuna, Jose Altuve, Luis Arias. They have a decent pitching, or pretty good pitching staff. Pablo Lopez. I'm trying to read them off right now. Martin Perez, Jesus Luzardo, Pablo Lopez, German Marquez. So pretty solid pitching staff. I think that's going to get them through. So I'll have to go to Venezuela and the DR to come out of that one. I think Puerto Rico is a good team, but I like Venezuela more.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, I feel like DR is definitely the heavy favorite, at least here. It's just like surprising that you have Puerto Rico and Venezuela, because if you look at most of the rosters, and we're going to keep getting through them, you're going to see some divisions of, a lot lower. But Venezuela I think they're a better pick too, because you got Altuve, you got Acuna, like, you have a better offense, and I feel like their pitching is pretty similar. Martin Perez. Who else did they have? Pablo Lopez, you said. So those like your 1-2, and then you have Luzardo, Ranger Suarez as well for Venezuela. And then for Puerto Rico, you're pretty good. You have Jose Barrios, and then like you have good guys in the bullpen. You have Edwin Diaz. That's a big that's pretty clutch. But like, I don't know. I just feel like Venezuela is a little bit better, but it's just one of those like Puerto Rico would be the favorite in Pool A. So Puerto Rico could easily end up taking it. But overall, I mean, I don't know. But in terms of, since we're talking Dominican Republic, is Dominican Republic the favor, do you guys think?
I think so. I haven't really taken a look at their pitching staff, but
It's pretty good.
I mean their lineup is ridiculous.
So pitching wise, their 1-2 is Alcantara and then Christian Javier. That's three.
Oh, they're good, bro. Yeah, that's ridiculous. They got Camilo Duvall out of their bullpen, Luis Garcia from the Astros, Christian Javier. This is ridiculous. Gregory Soto out of the bullpen. Yeah, they're going to be the favorites for sure. It's just kind of surprising that the freaking they're able to have all those guys on one team, because that's a super team, bro. That is one of the best baseball teams ever assembled. That's just like an all-star team playing in a tournament. And what I really like about this tournament in terms of how it benefits the Padres is, for example, for Nick Martinez, he's going to go over there and get innings as a starter in big-time moments. Juan Soto and Manny Machado, they're already used to the playoff atmosphere, but that provides them a playoff atmosphere, and it provides them big-time reps. That's kind of what I like about the WBC. I think previously I'd seen people saying, like, I don't want these guys playing at WBC just because they're away from the team or they might get hurt, but I think it's great for the players. Same thing with Ha-Seong Kim. Same thing with any of the players playing in the WBC. I think it's great that they're playing. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for them, and I'm hoping to watch as much as I can. If the DR plays the USA again, I'm for sure watching.
Yeah. I also just think it's really good for baseball, because I think a lot of people just see baseball as an American sport. But when you look at these teams, like you look at Mexico, the Dominican Republic, Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Japan, Korea, and even the Netherlands to an extent, they have stacked teams where they're going to give the USA a run for their money. So I think it's like a good world stage where people will realize that baseball isn't just an American thing. It's actual world sport. Not as much as it's not going to get the views the World Cup gets or like the Super Bowl or anything, but it's a world event, and it's really good to see that.
You know, it's kind of crazy because Japan's rotation might give a little bit of a fit. Like their top three, at least. Roki Sasaki, Shohei Ohtani, and Yu Darvish. That might cause some problems. Japan won it not that long ago with Yu Darvish as their ace, I believe. And Shohei Ohtani and Roki Sasaki are amazing pitchers. They're gonna.
I want to see Sasaki on the big stage so bad. I'm gonna do whatever I can to watch those Japan games.
Yeah, I mean that's a good team.
And another good thing for Japan too, because like they are a really, really good squad. Dude, they're in an easy pool. Like I was just showing you with the pool D, like the pool D is rough. Like, so you never know, but like DR could somehow get upset, right? Like, Venezuela and Puerto Rico aren't necessarily like non-competitive. Like they could beat them somehow. But Japan, like their best competition. So in pool D, it's Japan, South Korea, Australia, China, Czech Republic. It's like almost a lock that's going to be Japan and South Korea that move on. And they're just going to dominate that stage. So like they're going to be set up good, dude. They're going to be able to like be in the driver's seat for the whole thing. And let's see their aces. You said it's Roki Sasaki, Ohtani, and Darvish. Is there anyone else?
I don't think you need anyone else.
No, you don't.
That's ridiculous.
That's two MLB caliber aces. One is towards the end of his career, one is in his prime, and then you have the up and coming pitching phenom of the world in Roki Sasaki that is looking to be one of the best pitchers the earth has seen. Just with his stuff. I mean,
who is it that they have? Do they have an infielder? Is there a Japanese infielder that's coming up soon that's supposed to be really good?
Yeah,
I can't remember his name. He's the third baseman.
Is it because he's not
I would
playing
look it
yet.
up, but I think my internet's gonna die if I do that. So let me see if I can find it on my phone.
Oh, Lars Newbar,
Well, he's on the Cardinals.
and Masataka Yoshida are also playing for them in their outfield.
Yeah, their outfield's actually pretty legit.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Let me see. Japanese third baseman. Oh, here we go. Okay. It's Murakami. So
Yeah,
Murakami, he's playing. He's playing too.
Munetaka Murakami.
Yeah. So they're pretty they got some bats too.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, so last year Murakami hit 56 home runs and he won the Triple Crown with a 318 average and 134 home runs. Or 56 home runs.
That's insane. So he's a stud, and he's supposed to be expensive too coming out. Yeah, I think they're definitely gonna run away with Pool B. Since we're talking about Pool B right now, let me check South Korea's roster. Who is it?
Suzuki's not gonna play. I forgot. Seiya?
Oh, he's not playing. Their outfield's still solid though.
I think he got hurt. Yeah, that's still good.
Yeah. Korea. They don't have many. They have Tommy Edman
and Ha-Seong Kim.
That's their only. So maybe they don't win it, but
no, they're not. No.
I mean, make it onto the playoffs. So okay. So do you think? So would you take South Korea? And we're gonna have to look at these rosters over Australia, China, or Czech Republic. I don't know if they have many players. Australia. I saw Australia's roster. They have only minor leaguers.
Yeah.
But even then,
I'm pretty sure the Czech Republic has a bunch of accountants and finance and all those kind of guys. I'm certain.
Just because you said that, Isaac, they're gonna win.
They're not gonna do nothing, bro. I feel bad that they're gonna playing.
They're gonna
Czech has two players.
They're gonna
Czech has two players in the MLB.
They were in the pros, yeah.
So not much. Yeah, that's a rough division, dude. That's a really rough division. That's what I'm saying, dude. If you're in the right division, it's clutch. Okay, Pool C. This is another good one. This is probably USA's in this one. It's USA, Mexico, Colombia, Canada, and Great Britain. I will let you guys know right now, Great Britain is going to get absolutely smacked in this division. They're terrible. But the US roster, they don't have a lot of pitching. I saw people already talking about it. Japan's pitching staff is way better because I want to say our number one, US's number one, is Merrill Kelly. I believe it is. And Nick Martinez is a starter. Lance, it's not that good. Lance Lynn's here. Adam Wainwright. We have Devin Williams. That's good.
Miles,
but then
Nicholas.
But then you look at the offense, dude. Catchers: JT Realmuto, Will Smith. Infielders: Pete Alonso, Tim Anderson, Nolan Arenado, Paul Goldschmidt, Jeff McNeil, Trey Turner, Bobby Witt. Outfielders: Mookie Betts, Cedric Mullins, Kyle Schwarber, Mike Trout, Kyle Tucker. Dude, you can just go toe to toe with anyone offensively. Your pitching doesn't have to put up has to do anything.
They got a good bullpen too. They got David Bednar, Kendall Graveman, Ryan Presley, Devin Williams. They got a good bullpen. They got a really good lineup.
Sounds really familiar. Was he on the Padres before? I can't remember.
Who's that?
Oh, Bednar.
Oh, Bednar. Well, I'm sure he's having fun winning 50 games.
Yeah, we can tell Chase is delayed a little bit over here.
Yeah, just a little bit. He's good now, I think. He's good.
I was gonna put you under in the chat.
Well, what do you think about this? Okay, what do you think about this team? This team in Mexico's team, Chase. I'll read out Mexico's roster real quick. Big time starting pitchers: Julio Urias, T1 Walker. Let me see. Offense: Austin Barnes, Luis Arias, Randy Arozarena, Alex Verdugo. They're pretty solid. They got some guys.
Mexico's all right, yeah.
Oh, but apparently they don't have Luis Urias or Munoz anymore, according to Gil. That sucks. That's a big loss for them then.
That's a pretty big loss.
Patrick Sandoval, Julio Urias, Jose Urquidy, Taiwan Walker, old friend Adrian Martinez, Austin Barnes, Joey Meneses, Rowdy Tellez. They're not bad. Alex Verdugo, Alec Thomas from the Diamondbacks. They're not bad. They're actually pretty good.
That's not bad.
Okay.
They're not.
So,
I mean, I don't expect them to win that anything.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm looking to see if either Canada or Colombia has a shot. Nabil's starting for Colombia. And
yeah,
Colombia
that's also good.
Canada might.
Canada's got some guys. Cal Quantrill. Let's see who else. Oh, they have Freddie Freeman too, and Tyler O'Neill. And
Is
Bo
Naylor not
Naylor.
playing for Canada?
Yeah. So they're. What else do they have? Those are their big names. They don't have the best pitching staff. Cal, I believe Cal's their ace.
He's
And
not
Cal's
a
solid.
bad ace, but
I mean, him compared against Urias and Walker.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, no way. I saw clips of I saw clips of Urias pitching the other day, and in his contract year, dude, that's not good, bro. That curveball looks stupid.
Like he looks good, like really good.
I mean, he's always really he looks super good anyway. I mean, he's a great pitcher.
You saw that he might be like looking to leave the Dodgers too. That
report
before he wants to get broken off.
Yeah. I hope he does.
Speaking of something like that, remember when everybody said Ronald Acuna was getting traded, and now that rumor has disappeared and nothing has come of it?
Was he like upset about something? Is that why that came up?
Supposedly.
That was a report, but I think they're good. He kind of like disputed it. Like he kind of just, kind of said, "Nah, nothing's wrong."
Yeah, I mean that happens a lot. I feel like, and also there's just actually like fake reports sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Overall, though, with these, I don't know. I feel like Mexico's probably number 2, then Canada. Is that what you guys think? You could put Canada above them, maybe.
No, I'll go USA, Mexico.
Yeah, USA,
Mexico. I think so too, but I think it's closer than you might expect. And then Pool A, the best pool of them all: Taiwan, Netherlands, Cuba, Italy, Panama. The only team that has like they're just not good. Netherlands, you got Xander, you got I want to say both Profars are playing. Didi Gregorius, the shortstop Simmons. That's basically it. And I don't think they really have any pitching. Like I don't think they have a single MLB pitcher.
Andrelton
They have a couple minor leaguers. It's just not so good.
This is kind of a throwback roster. Wow. Didi Gregorius.
Andrelton
Simmons. Jonathan Scoop.
Oh,
dude, I haven't heard him.
Damn, that is an old ass name. He was the second baseman for the Orioles like years ago.
Yeah, he's there.
That is a throwback roster.
And of course, Xander Bogaerts and Jurickson Profar.
That's probably who's gonna win in this one. But I'm saying, dude, like, isn't that a bad division?
Yeah. I mean, this is Jurickson Profar, and this is a little off topic. This is Jurickson Profar's like. This is these are going to be some of his biggest baseball games, not in terms of the moment, but this dude needs a contract.
This is his tryout for teams.
Exactly. He needs a contract.
What's Cuba's team looking like?
I got it up right here.
I feel like
Cuba.
might win that.
Okay, they got Yon Moncada,
Yep.
Cespedes, and Luis Robert.
Brother.
They have Luis Robert.
Luis Robert. They're trash.
Is Motorhome gonna play with them or no? I was gonna say they had a lot of talent come out of there, but I don't know if they're gonna go play for them. Is the problem?
They don't really have any like notable pitchers. That's what I'm saying, dude. I thought they were gonna be better too.
I don't think their players are going back to play for them. That's
Dude,
the problem.
Italy might beat them. That's not a good sign. I mean, Italy doesn't have anyone good, but they have a bunch of guys on major league rosters.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know how. I would have never guessed that there was Italian influence in Major League Baseball, honestly. Like, I guess it makes sense.
Well, in the early stages of baseball, there was a lot of Italian and there was a large German and Jewish population in baseball on the East Coast. I could tell you all about this. I'm just going to go on the rant right now. I could tell you so much. I was like, I got to stop myself before I stop here. I can go the whole history.
Dude, I mean, it makes sense if you think about like some of the older names in baseball too. You got some funny names.
Baseball sure has changed a lot in a good way.
Did you know the only reason we have hot dogs and beers in baseball stadiums are because of the German baseball players and the German crowd? They're the ones that introduced beer and hot dogs into baseball.
9 innings, 9 beers, 9 hot dogs, and a fortune.
That's pretty interesting. Hey, you know who's playing in for Panama? Christian Bethancourt.
I saw that. I saw Christian Bethancourt. Javi Guerra
is he pitching or is he bad? Is he catching? Is he pitching or is he catching?
He's catching.
That's what you think. He's gonna come out and throw the gas right down the middle of the plate.
Yeah, they're not very good either. Like, damn, they're not good. Dude, this pool A is not. Yeah, who makes that a pool A is gonna get eliminated immediately. Yeah, this is really gonna come down to only a couple teams.
Yeah, that's at least it's fun watching those teams.
But it's gonna be fun to watch. Like, here's one, like Great Britain versus the US. Like,
oh god.
Or like Japan against Australia. All the cricket players against all the aces in the MLB. Like, just insane pitchers.
Yeah.
Let's see. What about Israel against Dominican Republic? Dude, some of these teams don't have many guys.
I know. This would have been a good tournament for Fernando to be in.
I mean, that team doesn't need anyone else.
No, they don't. I just think in terms of the moment and just kind of getting back in the groove of things, but they wouldn't allow them.
That would put them as the favorites, like heavy favorites.
Oh, easily. Easily. I mean, their shortstop isn't that bad. It's only Jeremy Pena, World Series MVP.
Right.
Or Wander Franco.
It's not like they need help in the outfield.
Yeah. Juan Soto's not that good.
So, okay. I feel like it's pretty clear the top 3 teams are Japan, the US, and the DR. Who would you guys take? Who would you guys take out of those 3?
The DR.
And wait, in how many game series?
Just to win the whole thing. Who would you take?
Fuck. I think I see Japan low-key winning it. Not gonna lie. I think depending on who pitches the final game, if it's Sasaki or Shohei, I think Japan can win it.
I bet you out of respect it'll be Darvish.
Probably, but that would be a crazy moment. I would love to see that. Darvish deserves to win. Yeah, I
For
can
sure.
see
He
that.
won it. I think he won the last one. So maybe not. He already got his moment.
I just don't think their offense is going to be good enough, sadly. Dude.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, if we have Roki Sasaki on the mound, who needs an offense?
Yeah, but the thing is, they're going to be. It's not like they're going to be going up against nobody when they match up against the
I know. I know.
I mean,
but they still have some pretty. They still have some. They still have some sluggers. They just don't have. They have some hitters.
I
just don't know how well they're going to compete against the DR guys. But then again, they also haven't seen no one's seen Roki Sasaki. I think that's like the one advantage they have is nobody has seen this guy other than Japan. Everybody has seen somewhat of each other. Like Cuba's seen like the Dominican Republic. USA has seen the Dominican Republic players. The Dominican Republic has seen the USA pitchers. That's the one advantage Japan has is they have this kid who's supposed to be a prodigy and no one else in the world has seen him yet.
That's true. That's super fair. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it'd be awesome because I think Japan has to go through someone first. Like I think they have to go through either the DR or the US before the championship. So they would have to beat both the Dominican Republic and the USA probably. But I mean, dude, like we were talking about the rosters for the US. Okay, you got these three nice pitchers. Here's who you're going up against. JT Realmuto, Pete Alonso, Tim Anderson, Nolan Arenado, Paul Goldschmidt, Trey Turner, Mookie Betts, Kyle Schwarber, Mike Trout, Kyle Tucker. Good luck. Oh, what about against Dominican Republic?
Yeah,
catcher's not too bad. They're rocking with Mejia and Gary Sanchez, but
oh no,
Devers, Guerrero, Machado, Ketel Marte, Jeremy Pena, Eloy Jimenez, Julio Rodriguez, Juan Soto. Wander Franco. Bro, it's insane. Like that's
realistically, it's probably going to be the U.S. or the Dominican Republic, but I like rooting for the underdogs.
I think if you had to pick one, like the best roster, it's probably Dominican Republic.
And to top it off,
because they're pitching really good.
Yeah, if Japan or the USA had to face the DR and they have to face that lineup and they're going against Sandy Alcantara or Luis Garcia or Christian Javier, they're screwed.
Yeah, I was going to say, I like how you threw Christian Javier on the third. I was like, he might be second, really. What he was doing in the World Series was not okay.
Yeah, those guys are disgusting.
Well, what about when Nick Martinez goes out there and throws 7 shutout against the DR?
Oh God,
that would be something.
Man, I actually think he's supposed to be on some sort of limit.
Probably, I'm sure that a lot of guys are.
I think they got him at 4. That's what from what I've listened to or what I heard from there, they said that he's going to go in. They're going to give him specific stuff to work on over there at the WBC, and he's going to be on some sort of limit.
Okay.
Because I mean, he hasn't been building up for too long at this point. So to go out there and throw 6, 7, it's too much to ask for in a game that doesn't really matter to him.
Yeah.
That brings up a pretty good point about Cuba. The 2000 and early 2010s Cuba, man. Those players were different. Those players were different.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really like that anymore, huh?
No, not really.
Yeah, I mean, we saw their team. Their team wasn't very strong.
No.
And I don't know if you probably don't have everyone there, but still.
No, the international prospects definitely come more from the DR, Venezuela, Japan, those areas.
Yeah. So, okay, if I had to do a top 5 for World Baseball Classic, I think I would do Dominican Republic at 1, USA at 2, Venezuela at 3, Japan at 4, Puerto Rico at 5. Would you guys change anything? Chase, I feel like you're going to want Japan higher.
No, I think
Venezuela's good.
Venezuela's good. I think it's like a coin flip between those two. Venezuela probably has a little bit better of an offense, but I think that trio of pitchers is not to be messed with. It depends on what you like more in a team. Do you want more pitchers or do you want more hitters? And I'm biased towards pitchers.
No, I think what was it again?
Who would you rather have, Venezuela or Japan? I just think Venezuela's roster is a little better.
Let me check Venezuela's roster again real quick.
So Venezuela offensively, Salvador Perez, Jose Altuve, Luis Arias, Miguel Cabrera, Ronald Acuna, David Peralta, Anthony Santander. Those are like the bigger name guys. And then pitching wise, they have Martin Perez, Ranger Suarez, Jesus Luzardo. Dude, they're pretty good. Pablo Lopez. Dude, they're really good.
They're not bad. I don't
Perez
think
and
that's enough. I don't know. I don't know if that's enough offensive firepower for me to. I mean, Salvi's good. Altuve's good. Arias is good. Rengifo sucks. Escobar is pretty solid. Eugenio Suarez is not that good. Cabrera's old. Jimenez is good. No, they're pretty damn good actually. Acuna and Peralta, yeah, I like them.
I think you got to put them ahead of Japan, just barely. I think it's close.
I think their lineup is better. I think it's kind of hard just because where the lineup is better, the pitching is better for Japan. Because I mean, realistically, most of the teams probably only going to use a few pitchers. But if there's a pitch count, an inning limit in the WBC, you can't use Roki Sasaki for that many innings. You can't use Yu Darvish for that many innings. You can't use Shohei Ohtani for that many innings. So I feel like lineup is going to triumph everything.
It just said it was pitch
That's super
counts.
true. And depth.
Yeah, depth.
Yeah, but I mean, Japan's still solid on offense and stuff. That's what I would probably rock with.
They got some cool ass swings. I'm sorry for my language.
Yeah, they got some bats. Yeah, we'll see. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see, and it's also gonna be cool to see like guys that we haven't seen. And like, dude, like Chase, you've got me so hyped over Roki Sasaki that like whenever he's starting, I'm making sure I'm tuning in for that one. Like the first pool game, I'm definitely watching it. And he's probably not gonna be going up against very good competition, so it's probably just gonna be absolutely killing whoever he's going against. Another question here from Wolfpack. We'll probably start getting back in the Padres stuff here in a couple minutes, but is Italy playing? Yeah, Italy's playing. They're all right. They're not that good. They're just like there's a lot of teams that like have like a little bit of MLB talent. They're one of those teams. But I don't know. I don't think they're gonna be super, super good or anything. But yeah, I don't know. Any other thing on World Baseball Classic that you guys want to get to? I know we wanted to talk about it just because it is interesting. We'll have to do little like kind of updates and stuff like in some other future episodes later on, just on like what's going on in the tournament too. But I don't know, anything else with the rosters that we didn't bring up?
No, I feel like it's pretty important that we talk about some recent Padres news, especially Joe Musgrove with his fractured toenail. That's gonna be. It's going to be an interesting start to the season, whether he's back or not. I mean, who knows what's going to happen there. He's a pretty tough dude, so whatever it takes, mechanic changes. I'd prefer him take a little longer just so he doesn't have to make any tweaks to his mechanics. But that's a pretty big thing. You can view it. It's going to be a bad thing at first, of course, but I'm kind of looking at it as this. All right, a spot just opened up in the rotation. Now we can figure out who's worthy of the depth when Joe Musgrove comes back, who's going to step up in that spot and provide us some quality innings. Nabil Chrismat's starter innings over in Colombia. I think that's something to monitor. Ryan Weathers has been pitching a few innings. Jay Groom had 2 innings as a starter the other day. There's pretty important things developing in that pitching rotation right now. Bob Melvin sounded really like he sounded kind of giddy about Julio Teheran. There's important things happening in that pitching rotation that we're gonna have to monitor throughout this whole thing with Joe Musgrove because Devin says a 6-man rotation is still a possibility. I don't think so.
I mean, it just depends if you're talking about that Bob Melvin was really excited about Julio Teheran. If Julio Teheran or Cole Hamels or Adrian Morejon or someone like that is looked at like a starter for at least the first 2-3 starts, then he could be the sixth guy, right? Like for the first little bit.
Marhone's confirmed he's not going to start the season. They're going to look at him to start
maybe
later.
Jake Groom then?
Yeah, they sounded excited about Jake Groom. He pitched 2 innings. Apparently, he had some life on his fastball, good stuff. But it's going to be really like really. That's probably going to be the biggest headline, other than maybe how Tatis looks and everything throughout spring training. Is who's going to get that spot in place of Joe Musgrove if Joe Musgrove isn't able to start the season.
It's 4 to 6 weeks, right?
Yeah.
When can he throw it? He's not throwing for 4 weeks, right? Or is he not throwing for 2, and then it's going to take another 2 weeks for him to ramp up?
I'm not sure.
It's probably going to take like a week or 2. I would guess, yeah, mid to late April is pretty fair.
Yeah,
like he's probably going to miss
2 to 3
3
weeks.
to 4, 2 to 4 weeks to be like super fair, like super careful with it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, it's just so tough because you don't want him making any sort of changes to his mechanics, and if he's going to try and play through the pain, it's going to take some changes, and I'd rather wait on it, especially because April baseball. I mean, who do they play in April that's significant? I can't think of anyone to start the season at least.
Yeah, and plus you want to give him time to ramp up too. Like if he's going to be throwing finally, like okay, getting comfortable with his foot, you also want him to ramp up to be a starter. So you need him to be able to go 6 innings at least each start. You don't want him to build off, 4 innings for the first month and a half that he's there, because then you're going into mid-May or maybe possibly June if he's not getting back until the end of April. And that's when he's finally hitting his form and getting ready. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad thing to have a fresh arm in June, but you also want him to be available throughout May games, because if you're going to be competing with the Dodgers for the title, you got to have him ready to go, fully amped up by mid-May at the latest.
Yeah, definitely. Another important thing definitely is the structure of Manny Machado's contract. That's super important for the Padres and their payroll coming up soon, because like being able to take that $45 million a signing bonus, and I don't know if that applies to the luxury tax or not, but it helps the Padres. You get Manny Machado for 3 years at 13 mil AAV, and then you get him for 21, I believe, in the 4th year, and then the rest is 35. Dude, that is huge. It opens up a lot of financial flexibility for the Padres to be able to go sign. I mean, Manny's message was, look, I'm doing this so we can go sign another star. We can try and go get another star. So maybe not even a star, maybe go get another piece that can help us. That was one of the first things he said. And that press conference for Manny was phenomenal. He couldn't have said better things. I mean, he said the right things the whole time. So that was great to see out of Manny. I'm excited to see how that financial flexibility impacts the Padres. But that was a really, really big thing that I kind of didn't expect.
I think they learned from the Hosmer contract.
I hope so.
I did. So okay, I'm looking at the contract right now. So basically, like you're saying, how it like structures out this year, his salary this year, like his payroll salary is $4 million.
Holy shit.
$4 million this year.
Is that because of the signing bonus, or does the signing bonus not against the luxury tax?
This one. So the way that I don't know. However, this the signing bonus is $4 million a year, a little over $4 million a year. That's how it's like spread out throughout the thing. So yeah, this year it's basically his base salary is like 13, and then he has a signing bonus. I don't know. His payroll salary is listed
payroll salary is $4 million. You're right.
For some reason, I don't know why, but his base salary is 13 for the first 3, 21, and then 35 for the rest of it. So his luxury tax is 31.1 mil every year. So basically, they're going to be paying him more than what's affecting their luxury tax when he's older, which I don't know how you want to look at that, but it's a little bit different. And yeah, like you said, dude, a lot better idea. I mean, it's more of what the Will Myers contract was in terms of how Hosmer and his looked.
Except
Will Myers was super cheap. Yeah, this guy might be a little better than Whitmire. And then
And it's a
but
little
like
bit
the Hosmer
better
one,
than Myers.
yeah, the Hosmer one though was like they front loaded it, and then
Yes.
it didn't work.
Yeah. Front loaded it out of desperation. Whatever.
That was
Yeah. Okay. Here's a good one. We were talking. So
That
we
was
were just
bad.
talking about this in our last stream about
Mm.
Juan Soto getting an extension, and Manny did hint at it. And
Mhm.
basically, Chase, you haven't talked about it, so I'll give you real briefly. Isaac and I basically were like, look, like they're going to want to give Soto a contract. They're going to do whatever they can to make it happen. That was what we took it as, and that's basically what Peter Seidler said. That's basically Manny's hinting at it. They're trying to get it done. So, do you think that it's pretty clear too that they're trying to do that?
Yes, but I think here's the problem, and I think Isaac sent it to the group chat earlier. What Rob Manfred stated earlier, they wanted a salary cap in baseball. That would really throw a wrench in the giant Padres machine. You know, it would stop that right away. You wouldn't be able to sign Soto to an extension because then you can't sign anybody else. So you'd need pitchers. You would need pitchers basically, unless you want to roll with what you got in the farm.
Yeah, I mean, the owners have said, and I know they do. I mean, I don't know why Manfred wants to do it all of a sudden, but I mean, I do know. But you know, the owners, they're never going to approve a salary cap. It's been said, you know, they're never going to approve of it, and I don't see why they would. I understand there's a little bit of a competitive. There's not really much of a competitive balance in baseball, but yeah, players union, the owners, whatever it is, they said they're not going to agree to a salary cap. I don't understand why they would. If anything, a salary floor, because fans deserve to have a good product out on their field. And if you were to implement a salary cap, it's basically you're taking the fun, in my opinion, you're taking the fun out of having that team like the Padres, like the Dodgers were able to assemble, like the Mets were able to assemble. And you're giving an excuse to the cheap asses that don't want to spend money and just are trying to maximize their profits. But back to Juan Soto. Yeah, they're doing everything they can to try and you know, it's becoming clear they want Juan Soto for the long run. The whole question was, you know, because it's been said they want both Juan Soto and Shohei Ohtani. I don't think that can happen. I don't think that will happen. I think the likelihood is very low. So I think they should focus their attention on the guy that's going to be there for at least the next 2 years and try and extend him. Because realistically, he's going to maybe be the MVP, a top 5 MVP finish this year. He's going to command 12 for 480, something like that. Give him that. Give him an opt-out after 5 or 6, and we're good to go for the next 5 or 6 years. Our window is prolonged with that, with Juan Soto, Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado, and Xander Bogaerts for the foreseeable future. And that lineup, if you're able to start, you know, you got Ethan Salas coming up. You got, I forgot his name, something DeVries is going to be one of a prospect phenom apparently. Jackson Merrill, you know, Dylan Lesko. Dylan Lesko, you know, you got a bunch of good guys coming up, and though the Padres farm system is not there right now, it will be there in the future. So I think extending Juan Soto should be the top priority now. And you know, maybe they will go after Shohei Ohtani and saying that, look, for 1 year, like you said, Matt, for 1 year, we're gonna have both Shohei Ohtani and Juan Soto. Sounds amazing.
Did you see the lineups if the Padres added Ohtani?
I did. And it looks stupid. It looks phenomenal, bro. But I don't know.
That's an all-time historic offense. Like,
yeah, it is. I agree.
I don't think there would be a greater offense in the history of baseball. That would be stupid. And if you didn't win the World Series with that, then there's a damn shame that you wasted that year.
There would
be excuse in the book that you could throw to be like, we lost the World Series because of this. No, there is not an excuse.
No, I agree. And you would also add an ace. But oh man, that's such a tough thing with Shohei, man. I mean, I can't be the only one that thinks that might end up being like. Of course, every contract has its risk to it. I mean, all have major risks to them.
That Shohei's is really risky. It definitely is.
It
But the
definitely
thing is,
is.
I was tweeting about this a while back, like a couple weeks ago, and I said something like along the lines of getting Shohei. I was like, yeah, I just think it's too risky. I was like, yeah, but 2 games in of watching Shohei Ohtani, it's worth it. It was worth it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I watched him pitch
for
the first game.
No,
He
for
threw
sure.
7 shutout, and then he hit a bomb the next game.
Exactly.
It's fine. You just keep him.
Exactly.
Well,
Give him whatever he wants.
even when he hurt his arm, he was still hitting. He was still a monstrous hitter.
Yeah.
He may not have a UCL for the rest of the year. He'll pull a Bryce Harper and bat without a UCL, but then you're also missing him for part of next season.
Yeah,
you will still have a hitter. It depends on what he hurts. It depends on what he hurts.
It's not the problem that, okay, you'll still have a hitter, because I agree, you'll still have a hitter, right? It's the problem that that'll be a $50 to $60 million hitter that doesn't see the field. That's almost like Steven Strasburg, dare I say.
No. You can't compare that. You can't compare Steven Strasburg to Ohtani. Because Ohtani would still be producing with the bat at an MVP level. Strasburg would literally just hit the IL for the entire year.
Yeah, I know. $40 million. Strasburg doesn't play. But I don't know. 50 to 60 million for a DH. And that's not saying he's going to be a DH immediately. It's acknowledging that he might not pitch after a certain amount of time. And the problem with signing Shohei, or even trying to sign Shohei, is that even if you think he might not pitch after this amount of time, you have to give him 10 years, because if you don't, another team will and say, fuck the risk, because it's Shohei Ohtani and they're going to be all in. So there's so much for Shohei Ohtani knowing, like, all right, well, look, even if I can't pitch in this amount of time, someone's going to give me the contract because I'm the best player in the world right now, and I'm going to be the best player for at least another 2 to 4 years because I can pitch and hit.
Yeah, and that's the difference too when you're talking about going after Soto. Is like, if you the other thing is like Soto could very well hit the open market. So I feel like next year their first priority in the offseason is going to be extending Soto. Because if they can extend him before going after Ohtani, that's just a better move, right? But if they don't extend him, then they might go after Ohtani. So that's the interesting part. But I do like that Manny was hinting at it too.
For sure.
And I think that also it does seem like Soto's the more realistic option. Like I'll agree with that too. Even though I'm just hoping that there's a chance to get both. That's really what it comes down to. You just start dumping other contracts and you say, all right, we got these guys, we're rocking with them. But I think I didn't get to talk about the salary floor and salary cap. So people talk about this all the time. Oh, should the MLB have a salary cap? No, the MLB should not have a salary cap. What's going to happen? Are the Pirates going to start spending more money? No, they're not going to spend more money. That's not making it more competitive. The only reason you add a salary cap is to not have owners make other owners look bad, which in turn just makes those fan bases recognize that they're not trying to win. So it's really lame that the MLB is talking about putting in a salary cap. It's not, the MLBPA is not going to accept it. That's like always been stated. So I don't think we have to worry about it. But if they wanted to actually make it more competitive, they'd put a salary floor in. The NBA has a salary cap and a salary floor. Now, I'm not saying that the NBA's way of doing it works. I'm not saying that at all. But you can put in a salary floor. Like, you could realistically do that. And I think for baseball, like NFL, for instance, if the NFL put a salary floor, that wouldn't do anything. That wouldn't mean anything. The teams already spend almost up to the salary. It's the same thing in basketball as well, in the NBA. So if you can add a salary floor to baseball, it would be so sick. The A's owner, the Rays owner, the Pirates owner, not the Reds. The Reds kind of spend money. But like all those owners that are the teams are never winning, never doing anything, they'd be done. And you would see the Pirates actually sign guys to contracts. You would see Brian Reynolds actually stay there and not be like, yeah, I want to get traded because they offered me a contract $100 million less than what I wanted. Like, because it's like they offer like the most ridiculous deals. So they don't even, and Bennett says $125 million salary floor. Dude, you don't even have to make it that much. You don't.
I think
Like, you can
100
make it
mil.
you can make it under 100 million and it would have an effect on the game, which is crazy. Like, that's so yeah, I don't know. I'm way more like for a salary floor than a salary cap.
For sure. Completely agree. Yeah. I don't know if there's much else to talk about. Yeah, I think 100 mil's good. But talking about the Padres, there's really just to talk about Juan Soto's having spring training barely started, but it's all we have to go off of. Juan Soto's having a really good spring training. Trent Grisham's having a great spring training. I mean,
Martinez looked good.
Nick Martinez looked good today. Yeah, he looked good. Jose Azocar is apparently having a good spring training. David Dahl's having a good dude. David Dahl crushed a ball. So like crazy crushed the ball. So David Dahl's having a good spring training. But that's gonna be another one to look at is the outfit, like kind of that last depth outfielder spot. Who's gonna win that? Jose Azocar, David Dahl. There's one more name that I'm forgetting, but that's a good one to look at. Xander Bogaerts having a bad spring training. Who cares? We know what he's gonna do.
I like how the situation switches. We need to watch these guys, but Xander Bogaerts, who cares if he has a bad spring training?
He's fine.
I take spring training with a grain of salt. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
Especially as Padres fans, who remembers Jabari Blash? My God, he was Babe Ruth in spring training, but Alexi Amarista in the MLB.
Yeah, that was pretty
horrible.
funny.
That's horrible.
Last year, Nomar Mazara, he raked.
It was Nomar. It was Nomar last year. It was.
Hey, to be fair, he was raking when he first came up. He was raking when he first came up.
Too bad. But then he died. I see Thoras where has Adam Engel been? He's hurt. He got hurt. So I think I forgot what he's doing, but he's trying to ramp up. Yeah, so yeah, there's not much else to talk about. I mean, we're barely into spring training, so not much to look for. Definitely the things that are going to be the headlines throughout spring training are going to be the pitching competition, the outfield depth, and obviously maybe even the biggest one is going to be Fernando Tatis Jr.
That's true. Only other thing, Odor. We brought in Odor.
Oh God, yeah, I forgot.
If you weren't here at the beginning of the chat, basically, who was it? Yeah, Gil said that he was he's a bouncer on the team replacing Pham.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Odor's I don't know. Do you think there's any chance he makes it? He has not been good in years. I think it's like 2017 or something when he last put up a solid season.
Yeah.
Depth.
I'll actually go contrary. I do think there's a chance he makes the roster with Eggy's injury.
Who would he be beating out? Batten?
Yeah. Oh yeah, easily.
So,
because I think he's in field depth.
I do think he'll be. I think he'd at least start as infield depth. I mean, I forgot what his numbers were, but like last year in clutch situations or runners in scoring position, they were stupid. At least clutch situations.
So let's see. I'm trying to figure out Batten. Who else? I'm looking through this roster right here. You got Batten. Yeah, Aggies out. Dixon. Is that it?
Dixon, yeah.
Yeah, there's not many.
Maybe.
Yeah, So Odor actually could make the roster.
Yeah, definitely.
It'll be like Alcantara last year.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That kind of role, or a Nomar Mazara.
Yeah, exactly. It's a Rangers reunion for sure. Rougned Odor, Nick Martinez, Ranger.
You might as well bring Profar back then.
Exactly. You have such a great point.
And Profar is going to be cheap too at this point. I mean, I'm still confused why he hasn't been signed.
Me too. I mean, I don't get it. I
think it was the slumps that he was going through. Like when he wasn't hitting, he wasn't hitting.
It was apparently because he was asking for 15 million to start free agency.
Oh yeah, I remember
Well,
that.
that's what Spotrac had him at too. He was
Yeah,
checking it. He was checking the numbers. He's like, "Shit, dude, I got to opt out."
Yeah, he's
He
like, I
opted
know
out,
what I'm.
right?
He opted out. Yes,
Bro, he might get. What was his deal?
7 million
No.
only.
Okay, so he'll probably still be able to get around that or get a
He
little
said,
bit
"I
more.
want to take it and double it."
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, this is definitely a big tournament for him. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Netherlands.
Dude, if he goes into the season unsigned, you have to bring him back for what?
for sure.
Same contract,
Just
maybe
give him
7 million.
again. Yeah, you just give him
Yeah,
7
just
again.
give him 7 again, maybe 8. You can give him maybe 8
I
with
agree.
incentives.
I agree. And honestly, maybe he goes to the Dodgers in the way that I don't know who will play. Miguel Rojas will play shortstop. Chris Taylor will play second base, and
You have to in the outfield again.
yeah, you just put him in the outfield, probably left field, right?
Yeah, he's wait, is Outman supposed to be center?
Who?
Outman, the prospect.
Oh, James Outman. Yeah, I think he's supposed to be a center fielder.
Then yeah, I guess that works.
Well,
Unless they get a first baseman and move Profar at second, and they move or Muncy to second, get a first baseman.
Muncy's gonna play second, right?
I don't think so. I think right now he's projected to play third unless Miguel Vargas comes up.
They have fucking Freddie Freeman. I forgot about that.
So who's playing second?
Muncy. There has to be. Oh wait, no, Muncy's playing third.
Yeah, dude, they don't have many infielders.
It's gonna be CT3 for now. Chris Taylor.
No, but he's supposed to play in the outfield.
I know it's gonna be
Vargas
weird.
Is probably, I think Vargas will play short.
That it's gonna be Vargas who plays short, but that
or Will Smith can play third, and they can call up what's his name, their catcher. He's been there for a while.
I don't know.
He's like he's a top 50 prospect. Cartaya. They can call up Cartaya. Because Will Smith isn't really that good behind the plate.
No, I just can't see him playing another position.
Well, he can play third.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's like, I think that he's supposed to be better defensively there.
Really?
And the Dodgers do that all the time, bro. You have Muncy playing second.
Yeah, they do a bunch of weird stuff. I know they do a bunch of weird stuff.
They had Muncy and Turner.
This is the first time, and that Gavin Lux injury was killer because this is the first time that they really don't have that much. They really don't have any depth. They're still a damn good team. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, barring any more injuries, they're still a good team. But this is really the first time that their depth is going to be tested in years, forever.
Yeah, because we even saw their pitching depth go down last year, and without Walker, and then they lost Tyler Anderson. They lost who else did they lose?
Tony Gonsolin's pitching on like a 50% healed, 75% healed UCL.
Yeah.
Walker Buehler's on the
who knows how long Urias' pitching restrictions are going to last.
I want to say Walker Buehler's out.
Right? Walker Buehler's out. Yeah, he's out for sure.
So you have Kershaw,
injury,
Catman, who's hurt, Syndergaard,
who's
always hurt.
I forgot.
Dustin May, who's coming back from being hurt. I already mentioned Kershaw, but he's also always hurt. And then you have Urias, who wants to leave. That's not good. Like, they're still solid pitching wise. I think Dustin May will be better than he was last year because I think he's a year removed now.
He's a stud.
And like, whenever Kershaw's out there, he's a beast. Urias is a beast. All right, there you have 1, 2, 3, really good. I think Gonsolin might take a step back.
Syndergaard's going to do.
Yeah, Syndergaard could have a little bit of a bounce back, honestly.
That might be the most terrifying. If Syndergaard has a bounce back with the Dodgers, that might be terrifying.
It'll be very.
They also have Bobby Miller, but I don't think he's coming up this year. I think he's a year away.
Yeah,
I believe Buehler is out. We'll see.
Oh, Pepiot's gone though, right?
No, he's there.
He got traded, didn't he?
I thought I just saw him pitching. He's out for the season?
No, I thought he got traded. Am I wrong?
Wait, who are we talking about?
Ryan Pepio?
Yeah, I'm wrong.
Yeah, he's still
I
there.
was-
He's still there.
I thought he was part of the Scherzer deal for some reason.
No,
I don't know why.
he's pitching in spring right now. Yeah, they're gonna develop that dude to be a stud. So
Yeah, that's true.
I forgot about Pipio.
Yeah. Yeah, couple questions here. Ace asked Julio Urias wants to leave. Yeah, apparently he wants like a new contract. It's like some contract dispute thing. And yeah, Walker Buehler's expected to be out the whole year.
It's because they put
What
him
was
on
it?
so many pitching restrictions
they
throughout the
do.
years.
They have him on
Happy.
yeah, he. I mean, I feel like it's rare that I see him go more than 5.
Yeah. Dude, he really doesn't.
No,
He's like,
no. I mean, dude, he was dealing against us. I mean, they're already kicking our ass, but he was dealing against us in game 1, and they took him out after 5.
well, and remember that almost came back. If it wasn't
did
for
almost
Clev
yeah.
pulling a fast one on the whole team.
God, dude.
He did that a few times.
Yeah. That dude single-handedly almost ruined our postseason. I mean, he did ruin our postseason once, but the first time it was.
Oh, don't worry. He just ruined his own season too.
And then he ruined his own career now. So
Yeah, that's the thing with the Dodgers. None of their pitchers go that far. But that's also the problem with Dave Roberts.
that is a
What?
big problem. You know what I was thinking is I feel like sometimes in the regular season they do go more than 5. Like Gonsolin, every time he pitched against us, went more than 5. Against other teams, not necessarily, but Kershaw every time. Anderson would go 7. But in the playoffs, Urias was out after 5. Kershaw was out after 5 or 6. Gonsolin was just not looking good. So they took him out after 2 or 1 1/3. I don't know, man. Doc Roberts got a lot of figuring out to do.
They play the statistics game, man. That's the thing. They don't. Some teams need to, if the pitcher's passing the eye test during the game, leave him out there. The biggest example of this, and I'll still bring it up, and I know you'll agree with me, Blake Snell in the World Series.
Oh, yeah.
Against the Dodgers. Who in their right mind takes out Blake Snell when he's having the best game of his life and the biggest game of his life? And you know what? It's the third. This is the third time through the lineup. Pull him. Nah, he was passing the eye test. He had that.
Yeah. That's the problem with playing the analytical or that game too much, because sometimes baseball is just a sport where if the dude has a feel for it, if if the eye test shows, I mean, you got to just leave him in there. That I think that you're right, Chase. That is the problem with Doc Roberts is he doesn't necessarily have a feel for the game in the playoffs. That's what's kind of hindered the Dodgers throughout their time. He doesn't have a feel for the game in the playoffs. He goes just purely based off statistical stuff, and I feel like he's kind of paranoid in the playoffs. Like he does have a lot to prove in terms of, I consistently have the best team, and this is supposed to be the year I win, and he doesn't win. I feel like there's some sort of paranoia, some sort of panic in his head in the playoffs where, all right, this shows that this gives me the best chance. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like. I mean, we've seen that like year in and year out in the playoffs. It's like, what? Dude, he didn't have Dustin May pitch against the Padres. Dustin May shits on the Padres.
He dominates the Padres.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they might take a step back, but we'll see. The injury's rough. The Gavin Lux injury is really rough. But yeah, outside of that, I don't know. I don't really think I have anything else. Anything else you guys got? Any news?
I keep seeing people say, or I've seen a few people say Urias to the Padres. Fuck Julio Urias.
Yeah, I don't want Julio
Urias. I don't want him.
Yeah. I don't know. Last year we did good against May. Yeah, but that's because May was cooked last year. You gotta let him ramp up again. He didn't look like the same dude.
May's nasty, bro. May is disgusting.
That like little two seam he has. The cut.
Yeah, the one that buckled. Dude, that one buckled. That thing moves from side to side. It buckled Manny a few times.
Dude, yeah, Manny's got it good by him.
That ain't no little two-seamer. That is one of the nastiest two-seamers I've ever seen in my life.
For sure.
I have never seen a ball move like that with
Dude,
the amount of velo it has.
I think I feel like him and Alcantara, it's just like, oh, those are the most elite ones you can have.
For sure.
Alcantara goes way in.
For sure. I never thought I'd see a two-seam fastball move like that in my life, honestly. That stuff is stupid.
It's like the opposite of a slider. It's ridiculous.
It is stupid.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think we're gonna call it. We'll be back on Monday, 7:30. I don't know what we'll be talking about, but hopefully some stuff goes down this weekend. We get some cool spring training stuff, and we talked about kind of the battles that are going on. So we'll definitely talk about that in terms of pitching and stuff, and how all of the depth is looking. Kind of maybe look into some roster projections. Maybe next week we'll do our top prospect list too, because we did in the last 2 years, and it's been pretty fun. Kind of gets you to know the system. And now the Padres farm system is really shaken up. So that one, we'll see if we'll do it next week, but that one's going to take a lot of research to get that one out. So maybe a little bit. But yeah. All right, guys. Have a great night, and we'll talk to y'all on Monday.